Welcome back, everyone! This is Journitis bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 73, and today we are going to be doing a couple of things. One of the first things I need to do is I need to make myself a network tool. Yep, there it is, network tool. Should have everything I need except for the wrench. And the network tool is going to help me out with something. The applied energistic system is losing power back and forth. It's coming on, it's going off, it's coming on, it's going off. And we can't have that because, bad things. So with the network tool, if we right-click the network tool on the controller, it will tell us what everything that we have on the system is, and it will tell us exactly what we're using. Energy usage is 615,000 RF per tick, and we're generating 689. So we're staying good right now, but for some reason, and I think I know why, when the auto crafting of my crafting tables takes place, it drains all that power down. Yeah, see, the power has been going down enough times that it's not even keeping up with the auto crafting of the crafting tables. So we're going to go ahead and fix the power system real quick, and we're going to make ourselves some control rods. Here we go. I want 2 of these. Oh, good, because I have exactly that many. And we're also going to want some fuel rods. That's not how you spell fuel. And we're going to want, I think it's 6 of these. It should be 6. Alright, and we're going to go ahead upstairs and upgrade the big reactor. This shouldn't be too big a deal. The liquid ender that's there is going to make this more difficult than it can be. Without the liquid ender, it would be a lot simpler, of course. So, just bear with me for a second here. Okay, there's the current control rod, which means that this is the back corner. So we're going to put these in right here. Well, yep, there goes the blocks. That's okay, I don't actually have to have that one. So we're going to go ahead and put the fuel rod pieces down here. I need to put these down as far as I can, and then put the cap on top of it as well. Now that'll actually do very nicely for right there. And this other one, yeah, the door's gonna have to go. That's okay, and I'll have to find these other pieces, because anything that falls into that gets teleported away, as you guys can inevitably hear. Alright, so here's the corner of the reactor. And there we go. Oh, no, that's not right. Here we go. Excellent. Now we can go ahead and put the top of this back on. And we'll have to go downstairs and put the last couple of pieces in, and we'll be able to reactivate the reactor. No one will know that's there. It's okay. I'll fix it later. And that's backwards. Oh, hey, here's one of the pieces. Sweet. Alright, so what we need to do now is... Oh. Well, that wound up being in the wrong place. Oh, well, that's okay. Not a huge big deal. But now I have to break this piece out of here. And before that can... No. Thank you. Before it can make a huge mess, place that other piece in there. And the same over here. And there goes the piece of glass. Alright, let's see if we can find it. Oh, there it is. And that will reform the reactor. And now, if we activate the reactor, instead of making 1,400 RF per tick, we're now making over 3,000. So that should... Oh, hey, there's the other piece of the reactor. Go away. That should... Why is this thing still showing zeros? There's no way we are using 3,000 RF per tick. It might be filling up extra buffers. I don't think it should be, though. Oh, there we go. In 2,000. Good. So now we don't have to worry about the power situation for a while longer. All right, now we're going to get on to what we're actually here to do. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get ourselves some alchemy going on. Actually, I should probably do it this way instead. It's the easiest way to look it up. If I can spell. We're going to be making ourselves the Alchemic chemistry set. And for that, I need a brewing stand. Matter of fact, let me make 2 of these. I probably don't actually need to, but there's no harm in it. So there we go. So we're going to be doing some blood magic alchemy. And one of the things we want to do is make, specifically, we're going to be making some items used to summon a demon. And the reason for that is, if we look back up the orbs real quick, we need to go ahead and get ourselves the Archmage's Blood Orb. And the Archmage's Blood Orb is a demon blood shard in a tier 5 altar, which we also need to finish because we never did put the runes in there to get the tier 5 going, and 75,000 life points. So right now, I want to get to a point where we can get a demon blood shard. And for that, we need to do some alchemizing. Alright, so with the Alchemic chemistry set, we can do a couple of things. Let's see. If we search for blood magic itself, we're going to look over here and we're going to find that there's a bunch of different little things here, specifically like ether and like terre and stuff of that nature. And this stuff is made in the Alchemic chemistry set, okay? And we're going to need to be able to have a whole bunch of these, as well as the simple catalysts that are used to make them. So we're going to go ahead and do some automating of that system, okay? Luckily, they built in a way to automate this using the rituals. There we go. Couldn't find my ritual diviner for a second there. Alright, so we're also going to need some ritual stones. Oh good, I've got extras. 1 master ritual stone, a bunch of non-master ritual stones, and we should be good to go. We're going to go ahead out here to the blood magic area and set up ourselves a new ritual. Now, as I remember, this thing's about 5 wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to find the ritual of Ballad of Alchemy. When I said ritual, I was like, that doesn't sound right. So the Ballad of Alchemy. So we'll go ahead and toss this up real quick. It's actually not a very big ritual. It doesn't take a whole lot of stones. It looks a lot like that. All right. So what we're going to need to do is set this up to have inputs and outputs. Now, basically, because this thing is circular, it always says to have the alchemic chemistry set at the front. The front is wherever you place the alchemic chemistry set. So because I put the set there, that is now the front. Period. End of story. Okay? So when you have this, the other thing we're going to need is a blood altar. And then we're going to need at least 1 input chest and at least 1 output chest. In this case, I'm going to do 2 input chests and 1 output chest because we're going to be automating a whole bunch of stuff. Alright? So for this purpose, we are going to need a blood altar. And we're going to go ahead and use ender chests, because ender chests are going to make this very easily automated. There's a white, white, white. Why do I have a white, lime, white? Well, I've got 2 of them. I need 3. Oh, that's okay. I guess white, lime, white's volunteering. Oh, good. I've got the stuff to make another one, too. But do I have lime dye? Yes, I do. Sweet. Alright, so what we're going to do is change this up, and we're going to have 3 ender chests. 2 of the ender chests are going to be the inputs, and the third white lime white is going to be the where I'm going to maintain the ingredients. So let me show you how this works real quick. I'm going to need, well actually I don't need to come back here, I've got wireless. It's neat. Alright, so basically the way this works is you have the alchemic chemistry set in the front, and then to the left and right are going to be your input chests, and directly across from the alchemic chemistry set is the output chest. Now I'm putting the output chest as the white, white, white ender chest because that is the main input to the AE system. Okay, and then the white, lime white is going to be an input to the actual ritual. Okay, and well, I can put that. No, why did I do that? Get back here. Alright, so now that we've got that in place, we need to activate the ritual with the activation sigil. And a rush of energy flows through the ritual. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how the alchemic chemistry set works over here first. Then we're going to get it set up to automatically make some things. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to need an orb. Now, depending on what you want to make with the, depending on what you want to make in the alchemic chemistry set, will determine what actual kind of orb you're going to need. I couldn't think, I can't think about two things at once. I was trying to figure out what I needed. Um, so, the higher tier stuff requires a higher tier orb, but the lower tier stuff doesn't, just requires any orb. So, the first thing we're going to make is going to be a simple catalyst, okay? And basically, what we're going to do is we're going to toss this stuff in here. And we're going to toss the blood orb in, and that will start this going. You'll know it's working because you have particle effects above it. And it'll be done because, look, the stuff disappeared, and the output shows up at the top. Okay? And that made ourselves a simple catalyst. That is neat. Alright, so that's how this works in the first part. Give me this. Now, over here, we're going to go ahead and put the blood orb here. And we're going to go ahead and request from the AE system some sugar, 2 stacks of redstone, some glowstone, and some gunpowder, because that is what's used to make this particular set of stuff. Alright, so now in the input chest, I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff in here. Now, this is the ingredients to make 1 stack of simple catalysts. Okay, but you might notice that nothing's happening. The ingredients are here, the system knows the ingredients are there, but it doesn't know to use them yet, okay? That's what the blood altar is for. The blood altar is there so that you can give the system an example of what you want made, okay? So I've got the ingredients there, but you can see that nothing's happening. Now, if I put the simple catalyst in the blood altar, then the ritual recognizes that that's what you want to make. And all of a sudden, look, stuff's happening. So, as long as it knows what you want to make, which is the item in the blood altar, and then once it has that, it checks the input chests to see if you have the correct ingredients here to craft it. And as long as you do, it moves 1 recipe of it into the alchemic chemistry set, and it makes. Once it makes, it then checks to see what it's supposed to make, and imports it again. So it will continue to do this until we run out of ingredients, or until I take this out of the altar. Like, come on, finish with that. So I take this out, and it says, okay, it's going to finish making this one. It's going to leave it in the output slot, but it's not going to import anything else. Because now it's like, well, I know I'm supposed to do something, I just don't know what. I put this back, and it goes back to working. So it automatically makes things that are available in the input slot. Okay? So now we need to automate this. And this is actually going to be a lot easier than you might think. I'm just going to let this... Yeah, you can keep running. Alright, so now you might ask yourself, why do we have that other ender chest? Because we're going to use it to automate the input of ingredients for the various things that we want to make in the alchemic chemistry set. Okay, no, I need to craft something real quick. I need to get myself some translocators. There we are. Item translocators, to be specific, I am going to need 8 of them. And along with those 8, I am going to need some diamond nuggets. Actually, I'm going to need 1 diamond nugget to be technical. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to need 4 diamond nuggets. I keep forgetting about that. Alright, so the other thing we're going to need is a couple of interfaces. Oh, 4, ironically enough. Oh, wait. Was that a crafting thing? Oh, the AME system's saying there's nothing there again. Let's see. Crafting card? Crafting card. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to set this up over here in this room because this is the way I think it's going to be. And what we're going to wind up doing is I'm going to place the interfaces in the walls. Just like that. And then the ender chest will go here in the front. And then we will have the item translocators. No, not on the front. Okay. Maybe you will be on the front. And one more on the bottom. Booyah. All right, cool. So give me just a second. I'm going to run the cable from underneath up so that these are actually powered, because right now there's, nothing here. I can't do anything with them. Nothing happens when you put these here. So let me run some ME cable up to the bottom of these, and then we will set them up to actually export items. Just a second. And now that we have that run through here, I hooked it in along with the crystal growth accelerators because the crystal growth accelerators don't use channels. So now we have 4 channels running off of right here, and we should now see that we have more channels being used going up through here. As a matter of fact, we're only up to 12, so I have plenty of room for more automation there later on. So now the interfaces over here have power. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and automate the refilling of said things. We're going to need redstone. We're going to need glowstone. We're going to need sugar. Oh, we are running low on sugar. How am I running low on sugar? I should have a ton of that stuff. Oh, I do have a ton of sugar. I just don't have it here. That's okay. I can fix that. Let's see. Where's my dolly? I have all the sugar in the world. Yoink. It's a good thing I remember these things, because otherwise I'd been like, man, I gotta put up a sugarcane farm or something. There we go. Now we've got all the sugar. You go away. You go away. You go away. You go away. Sweet. Alright, now let's try that. Yeah, now the sugar's at the very front. Okay, good. So those are the 4 things I need to automate over here. So let's go back over here, and we're going to tell this interface to keep a stack of gunpowder, a stack of sugar, a stack of glowstone, and a stack of redstone handy. Alright, then over here, we are going to put 1 diamond nugget right here, and then we're going to right click the main thing itself, and it's now going to regulate a stack of sugar. No, I said a stack of sugar, thank you. A stack of gunpowder, a stack of glowstone, and a stack of redstone. Alright, so now when I right click the center here with an empty hand, we should see all this stuff go flying in. And that is going to now have it show up in the chest. So this is also, now if you remember, this is also the input chest to the Ballad of Alchemy. So now the Ballad of Alchemy has these ingredients available always. Alright, so now I believe it's actually going to be running. We left it running, didn't we? Yes, we did, because otherwise it wouldn't have stuff popping into it like that. Excellent. So the other thing I'm going to want to do is go ahead and have it keep some catalysts stored here as well. So basic catalysts, store 64 of them. You regulate 64 in this chest as well, because we're going to be using the catalysts to make other stuff. And that's what we're going to go ahead and do now. Alright, so let's see. Don't need you or you. Wait a minute, why did I have an extra translocator left? Did I not? 2, 4, 6, 8. How did I do that? It's a very good question. Alright, no biggie. We should also go ahead and put these diamond nuggets in place. Now, I'm going to have all of these here specifically because as we are making more and more things with the Ballad of Alchemy, we're going to need to regulate more and more ingredients into the input chest. Okay? Actually, as a matter of fact, that means I only really need 1 input chest. Well, actually, I only need 1 input chest at the Ballad of Alchemy, but I can use a second one if I have more ingredients than I have room for here. But that's fine. Alright, we'll get to that in just a second. So, the second thing I'm going to want to do is I want to make... Do you mind? How about we search? A-E-T-H-E-R. Okay. We're going to be making some ether. Okay? Or aether, if you will. Okay, so that's why we need the simple catalysts. And then we're going to need to regulate feathers and gas tiers, because we already have the other stuff. So, let's see. feathers. And, ooh, we only have 8 gas tiers. That's going to have, yeah, we're going to have to do something about that. Regulate a stack of feathers, please. And regulate, well, I will have it regulate a stack of gas tiers even though it can't. But that's not a big deal overall. I'll have to go get some gas tiers. We'll be hunting ghasts. I might not want to hunt the ghasts, because you ever notice when you go to the nether, there's ghasts there when you don't want them to, but when you go looking for ghasts, there's never any there. Yeah, that happens. Alright, sweet. So now we have this stuff here, so we have the actual stuff necessary to go ahead and make the Aether. Now, you might ask yourself, well, how are you going to be switching things in and out of the altar? Well, that's actually a fairly simple answer. We're going to use drones! I know, you never would have thought it. But for starters, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves our first Aether by itself. We're going to need 1 glowstone, 2 feathers, 1 simple catalyst, and a gas tier. And we should be able to just go ahead and make this right here. Just like that. Nice. So now if we put ether here, it will go ahead and pull these things out and make ether. Aether, whatever you want to call it. Sweet. Until we run out of gas tiers anyway. So let's go ahead and pull this out. It can go ahead and finish that one, that's fine. And now I need to take a break real quick and write a fairly simple drone program. I'm also going to need a chest as an example chest. Let's see. I like the idea of just a normal wooden chest. And I also kind of like the idea of it not being right there. I like the idea of the example chest being close at hand so the drone doesn't have to go very far. So we will put this here. And the example chest will go right there. That leaves room for this. Sweet. Alright, now you've seen me write drone programs before, and we actually are getting late in the episode already, so I'm not going to waste any time in the writing process. I'll be back. 1 program written. Isn't it grand? Isn't it cool that you guys get to have it be nothing and then plop, there it is? Alright, so here's basically how it's going to work. I'm running off the same concept that I'm using for my slate production, and I have to put in some of the actual infrastructure to make this function, but let me run across this real quick. We're going to start. We're going to look for a redstone signal. The redstone signal we're about to go put in place. If no redstone signal, then we're going to have it import from the blood altar, which is here. Okay, and that blood altar, I'm going to import anything that isn't a simple catalyst, because this is the simple catalyst making thing. So if for some reason the simple catalyst is already there, don't import from it. If anything else is there, go ahead and take it out of there. That way you can go ahead and put the simple catalyst in there. Then we're going to have it import a simple catalyst from the example chest, assuming that it wasn't already there, and export it into the blood altar so that the catalyst can then be used to tell the system what to make. It is then going to wait 200 ticks, or 10 seconds, and after that, it's going to check for the redstone signal and go back through all this again, okay? And the same is, now I didn't do it for the Aether, because the Aether, I need to go hunt ghasts. And I actually hunted ghasts for a little bit and did not find any of them. I actually kind of had an issue in the nether where I ran out of mana for my wings, for the Flugel Tiara, and I had to walk back. It was quite embarrassing. Anyway, so I went ahead and made the second thing, the Strengthened Catalyst, since we're going to, I'll just go ahead and do the 2 catalysts for starts. Okay, so let's go back down, and it's going to do the same thing there, wait 200 seconds. Now, the 200 seconds is to make sure it actually has time to make any of these, because otherwise it might accidentally start swapping back and forth. The reason for that is because the simple catalyst is used in the strengthened catalyst, and in pretty much everything else as well. So when we use one of the simple catalysts, then it's going to go back and try to put the simple catalyst back into the altar, because it'll no longer meet that requirement. So if it's going to do it, I want it to wait 200 seconds to give it some time to craft. Otherwise, it's going to wind up swapping items in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and that gets very annoying. So one of the things that I actually kind of forgot about was to get this other stuff ready. What we're going to wind up doing, hang on one second here, we're going to go downstairs. And over here, we're going to go ahead and chop a hole. And we're going to need a little bit of cable. And we're also going to need our level emitters. Alrighty, and we should be able to go ahead and run the cable. Hopefully the cable's right here. Yes, it is. One cable up from there. One cable up from there. Then the level emitters here and here. Those will take a second to come online, and that's fine. Then we'll put this back, and we've got one of these extra. We're also going to need a redstone lamp. And we're also going to need to set the levels for these, for the catalysts. There is the strengthened catalyst. Where is the simple catalyst? Maybe they're all being exported currently. Dadgummit. Do you mind? Give me one of these. Thank you. And we should be able to then say this one is going to, for this, it's going to have 63, 64. And it is going to emit when levels are above or equal to limit. Excellent. And we'll go ahead and put this here. And then over here, I just can't place things today. The strengthened catalyst also is going to be maintaining 64, and it is also going to be emitting when levels are at or above the limit. Then we're also going to need some item frames. There and there. And just for the fun of it, that one and that one. Excellent. So that should take care of that. The other thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to maintain netherwort and bone meal in the ingredients input chest because the strengthened catalyst is two simple catalysts, a netherwort, and a bone meal. So all we gotta do is tell this to go ahead and maintain these as well. How many do I have in here? Let's see. Nope, we're not gonna use that one. We're gonna use this one. This one we'll use for stuff that needs to be crafted. So this one will have that. We'll give it the crafting card. So it will automatically keep a stack of bone meal, and if it doesn't have it, it will craft it for us, which, by the way, I taught the system how to make bone meal. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and say netherwort is going to be here. So we also need to tell this thing to regulate a stack of netherwort. In it goes. And this thing is going to regulate a stack of bone meal. And right click, in it goes. And it will craft a new bone meal to fill in the gap here. Sweet. Alright. So now we should be able to go ahead and put the drone down and have him do his thing. Now, we'll be adding to this, of course, because as you guys saw, we need to regulate the production of aether. And to be quite honest, there's a lot of things that actually need to be regulated here. One of the things, by the way, with this drone program, you will need the drone to have dispenser upgrades. This drone, in theory, will not... Oh, no, yes, he will. Because when he comes over here to recharge himself, he'll get hit by the thing. So I need item life upgrades. And I don't have any made. Hang on. And there we have item life upgrades. Now, he should automatically come up here. Oops. He should automatically come up here to refill himself, I think. I might have to... I'm not sure. I don't remember how far they automatically scan for a recharging station. So if he runs out of fuel and he doesn't realize to come up here, I may have to tell him to come up here and refuel. But I think he will do that by himself. In the worst case scenario, I can write it into the program later. But we should now have this functional. So, go, my child. He should go up. Yep. He checked for the redstone signal. The redstone signal is not there, so he put the simple catalyst in here. And the other... Why did he import both catalysts? He should have just imported the one. Oh, he imported both because... No, he still shouldn't have imported both. He should have just imported the one. Both signals are out, so I mean, he does need to make both catalysts, but he should have imported from there to that. But yeah, he shouldn't have imported the strengthened catalyst until he actually got past this point. So I might have my coordinate trackers messed up. Let's see. Okay, I don't have any catalysts available there, but we are still making them rather quickly. Let's go inside and see how many catalysts I have being kept regulated. I can't trust the MEs. 1,200 out. Oh, that's right. I turned the reactor off because it was full and still running. Alright, so we are regulating simple catalysts to the chest, but we're also storing them here. Yeah, see, we still only have 51 stored here. And because they're being stored here, and they're not being, the system doesn't know that they're here, so it technically isn't there right now because they're not able to access them. So this is going to, I have to make 70-something catalysts before this light pops on. So give me just a second. I'm going to let it run for a minute, and then we'll make sure, while it's running, I'll check and make sure I got the coordinates right, just to be safe, because I might not have. But this is going to run for a while, making simple, and then it'll switch over to the advanced. So give me just a second. Alright, I did have that messed up, by the way. I had it importing where it shouldn't have been. So we're at 63 now. So here in just a second, it's going to pop up here and swap these catalysts out. Booyah! There we go. So he's now holding the simple catalyst. I decided not to have him export it to the chest because it's just another step that I didn't want to have to program in, and he can hold it just as well as anybody else. So now, since it used simple catalysts to make the strengthened catalysts, after waiting the 10 seconds, it's crafted those, and now it's crafting back the simple catalysts that it needs, because that light then went out. So now here in just a second, it's going to finish that, and it's going to swap them back out again. So it's, it'll swap out a good many times while it's trying to reach its total goal. But see, there it goes, and it's using the simple catalysts, and it's going to make, is it going to make a whole 2 sets? Yes, 2 sets are made, and then it goes back to the simple catalysts again. So excellent, that works perfectly. Obviously, this needs to be expanded. We're going to be making several things specifically. Let's see. I'm going to, in between episodes, automate the production of the elementals. That being the Aether, the Incendium, the other one is Aquasalis. Then there's the Terrae. See, Tenebrae? Yes, Tenebrae is the dark, and then the light is... What is the light? Sanctus. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get it to where we can make these things rather easily. We'll automate the production of this stuff as well, and I'll write it into the program. Next episode, we're going to be fighting demons, getting blood shards, fighting elementals, and finishing the Tier 5 altar. Finally. God knows I've been waiting long enough. So that's what we're doing next episode. So that's it for this episode. Until next time, this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 73 of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what we get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming!